This is the Erin Cruz Show. Politics for the people and by the people. With your host, Erin Cruz.
Hello everyone, this is Erin Cruz of the Erin Cruz Show, Straight Talk with Erin. Thank you for joining me tonight. We are in our second week of streaming live, so I just want to make sure everything is running smoothly again. Thank you for your patience. Give me just a moment. Looks like we have another lag. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you can just put up with it this time, and I'll have my guys take a look at this for the next show. In any case, I wanted to go ahead and get to our program tonight. We have had quite the week, as you know. Some of the things I wanted to touch on were the Democrats have absolutely lost their mind, okay? They don't know what is going on. They have no idea why or how we could possibly won the elections in Georgia. I mean, it's amazing to see these newscasters just sit there in awe. I mean, it just blows my mind. And one of the things that completely, absolutely escapes them is the fact that Trump says it how it is. And you can't get around it. It is what it is. He says what he means what he says. He's doing what he said he's set out to do in the first place, which is give the power back to the people. And they just don't know what to do with that. And quite frankly, it's almost to the point where you have to wonder, are they just acting? Because no one could be that dumb, right? I mean, really. These are well-educated people for the most part. And here they are just completely dumbfounded. I think it's beyond, quite frankly. So why did we win in Georgia? Why did we win the other special election? Because Trump is taking action. The taxpayers are absolutely fed up with status quo politicians giving them promises, not following through. I mean, even look at the Republican Congress. We hired them to repeal and replace, to take care of Obamacare, put us in the position where we can go ahead and have our premiums go down, you know, costs of health care go down. And that was what they were hired to do. It was 2012. People were ticked off. And then you had 2014, the midterms, and then you had 2016. I mean, how more clear can we get? Especially even with Trump being elected and all of the polling coming in saying that Hillary was going to win it. Exactly. So how did Trump win? He's doing what he said that he's setting out to do in the first place. 6 months in, we've got landmark policies being made. We have different policies being rolled back. Today we saw the Veterans Affairs is going to have probably what we would hope this act would accomplish would be a major overhaul in terms of the policies and how our veterans are treated and the protocols in place and people being held accountable. This is awesome. This is awesome. And, you know, the biggest thing behind it, I think, is that the people don't just hear about the policies are going to be changing. They're seeing that action is being taken on the ground. I mean, in the case of immigration, you have ICE going out, and they've hit many, many states, and they've been ramping up our border patrol, and our immigration numbers have, you know, illegal immigration numbers and border breaches have gone down tremendously. So I think the biggest thing is not only is Trump taking action on paper, he's taking action, which is something that we haven't even seen this Republican Congress. Prior to that, we still had a Republican, you know, I mean, you all know. I mean, all the way back to Obama taking office and what, a year and a half in-ish, when everything changed over, and we took back the House, and then we took back the Senate. I mean, since then even, we really haven't seen too much of a shift, have we? Until Trump. So if all y'all Democrat friends are a little confused and they're a little stunted as to why Trump is getting the response he's getting in his elections, it's because he's taking action, because the people underneath him and in his administration are actually doing something, which is unheard of in the political sphere, as it seems. So, all wonderful. I believe it's all wonderful, and I think we have nothing more than better things to come come the midterms. Okay, so that is really exciting, I think, as we head forward. Many people have seen that AHCA was ramped up, and the Democrat congresspersons, and I say congresspersons because the females, the women aren't really women, they're feminists, and I have a whole story behind that. But in any case, so these women, not even women, these Democrat persons, these congresspersons in the House and in the Senate are throwing an absolute fit. I mean, they're all over social media. I think it was Elizabeth Warren, and she's sitting back, okay? She's sitting at her desk like some regular Joe, you know, I'm here to tell you that everything is going to be okay. You're in my office. Everything's going to be all right. But the world's going to collapse if they repeal Obamacare. You're going to die. I mean, there's absolute hysteria wrapped around this Obamacare repeal and replace. Hysteria. So I think that when it comes to the Democrats, we just have to be very frank. They're blowing hot air. What they're saying is not true. The CBO is going to issue their report. The sky is not going to fall. I believe that Donald Trump, President Trump, will do what is best for the American people about the health care situation. The health care bill that's passed in the Senate, what was passed in the House wasn't perfect. What's going to be passed in the Senate may not be perfect, but we have time to slowly etch away. Okay, this whole ordeal, the rollout of Obamacare has been over a number of years. You're not going to get that slammed down and knocked out overnight. It's just not going to happen. And one of the things that I was saying today on Twitter was even that I'm not exactly certain that the House and the Senate have to repeal and replace anything or everything. I believe that much of what Obamacare was written on, the basis was that it was delegated, many of these things within it, to the secretary. The secretary shall was named some 2,000 some odd times. So why can't Health and Human Services secretary go through and mark some of these things null and void, or dictate as to what should be or shouldn't be? Because that's actually what was done. That's how it was written. Obamacare was written in the first place. So what can we do in the meantime? Okay, even if the Senate doesn't pass anything, if they don't vote before the August recess, which we should push for them to do, even if they don't, I believe that Trump should send in some, send in the secretary, send in all the professionals, take a look at how it's written, how the old policy is written, and have the HHS go through it and change it. I mean, literally, that was how most of the bill was written. So he can consult with his guides and figure it out. But whatever is the best deal for America, whatever is the best deal for the free market, trying to roll back some of these taxes that were done, I mean, that's the best way to go. And I think Trump is willing to look at what works. Because right now, the only thing that doesn't seem to be working is Congress. Okay? They work some... I saw numbers rolling around. It was sick. I mean, 100 and some odd days and making double six-figure incomes plus pensions. And I do think that they earn a nice wage for the time that they put in, the sacrifices that they make, the heavy legislation, the stress, all of those things. They should make a decent wage. But what are we getting? Because the last time I checked, when people didn't work, when people didn't perform, I don't know about you, but I worked for a good many years, and if I didn't do my job, see ya. You know, so I think that we need to put the pressure onto Congress. We need to put the pressure, you know, onto the president as to what we want. Let him know, keep letting him know, and see what we can get. And keep the conversation real, because, and you and I know, I mean, I've had conversations with so many of you over the years, the last 10 years, and it doesn't have to be that complicated. It really doesn't. Look at the Constitution, and yes, we have a more complex nation, you know, I get that, but work. Congress needs to work, and who do they work for? They work for us. And what should they be doing? They should be doing what we hired them to do, which is repeal and replace. And if some of them have constituents that are in the majority and put them in place that's not what they wanted, then they need to do their job according to what their people want. But I really think that the majority of Americans are affected in a negative way from this. So make sure you keep that pressure up. Make sure you contact your senator. Don't forget to contact your House representative as well, because they all know each other. They're all good friends and buddy-buddy. Don't forget it. It's, it's a tight circle at the top. Okay? And then the last thing I want to talk about is the hysteria that the media is trying to push around this. Don't let them do it. Don't help them with that. Oh, Siri's interrupting us. Anyway, don't help them do it. Don't help them bloat that hysteria. Okay? Keep it very frank conversations. Keep everything really down to earth, and keep the conversation poignant, on topic, and when you see something, say something. Hold media to the wall on things. Don't let them skedaddle about and blow things out of proportion. I've seen a lot of that today. So the great propagandists are out there, okay, and they're swaying everything left. But we know, because we've seen these two special elections, what the people really want. And we put our finger on that pulse, okay? And we could tell right where it was going. We're on the right track, and that is so awesome to know. And when Congress goes rogue and they don't pass anything by August, we're going to have some bad midterms. I need to make sure and remind them of that. So in any case, I want to thank you again. I'm sorry for the delay tonight on the video streaming. We're going to go ahead and work on that. I do appreciate you joining us. Please make sure you join me on Tuesday night, 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Political Core, where we get to the core of the issues, okay, that matter to you, the topics that you want to hear about, so you can make a difference in your community and in your state and in the nation. So make sure you join me for that. And then there's the Queen of Politics on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's usually a pretty good time on Thursday night. So anyway, thank you again for joining me, and I hope you have a blessed evening. God bless you, and God bless America.
To hear more and to learn more on how you can make an impact or about the Erin Cruz Show, visit us online at erincruz.com. That's ERINCRUZ.com. Thank you for joining us, and see you at the same time and the same place next week.